Realm of the Strange event is now out on all servers as I'm uploading this. Today I'm here with the what you should farm and avoid farm at the same time. No Spidey mask today, Spidey is kind of dead, but nonetheless I still want to get this video out. Stuck grinding in Honkai Star Rail? Need Stellar Jades fast? We've got you covered. Head over to U7 Buy, your ultimate gaming hub for save fast and cheap in-game top-ups. Whether it's Star Rail or your other favorite games, U7 delivers instantly and players love it. Check out their Trustpilot reviews, they're actually top ranked. On the Honkai Star Rail direct top-up page, you can recharge your account in seconds. For example, 8080 Honorific shards cost $99.99 in the official store, but on U7 Buy, you can see here it's way cheaper. Just pick your server, enter UID, pay securely, and boom, your account is instantly loaded. Want extra savings? Use code PRETSR at checkout for 5% off, perfect for last minute pulls, battle passes, or surprising a friend. And here's a bonus. If you spend $80 a month on U7 Buy, you can grab the Honkai Star Rail Express Pass for only 1 cent, which is nearly free. Click on the link in my description, recharge fast, save more, and keep blazing those trails. As per usual, we're going to go through every single little cavern that does have relic sets, and I'm going to recommend stuff and unrecommend stuff for what you should and should not farm. So for the first one, we have the Hunter set and Wind set. Hunter set, garbage, don't really bother with it anymore. It's not really best in slot ever. It's really just used as a filler for the character you're using till they get their better set. On the flip side, we have the best relic set in the game. Of course, the way I recommend a lot of these farming things is to have double the efficiency, and unfortunately, no matter who you are, this will never have double efficiency. So Eagle is really a set I recommend either just completely farming if you are someone that wants a hardcore Eagle set everyone for the most part, who can at least. But if you're someone who just wants to have Eagle set for a few characters and such, I really recommend farming something else and just using all the relic remains on Eagle instead. Unfortunately, the best relic set in the game is paired with one of the worst, so I don't really recommend doing this and would just use remains on Eagle instead. Next up, we got the Champion set and also the Thief set. Don't recommend this either. Physical sets only really used on like Clara and Argenti. Clara has a better setup with the Poet set, and Argenti you can really just use something like Scholar. Flip side, Thief set can be good, really just for like the 2-piece stuff, and if you're doing 2-piece break, 2-piece speed. This is really something you have if you've just farmed from the beginning of the game. You've been playing for a while, you probably have a few good pieces laying around. I would never actually recommend farming for this, so do not farm this cavern. Next up is the Passerby set and also the Musketeer set. Passerby set, the 4-piece is very niche. This is really only something you do in very specific setups where you need that extra skill point, which nowadays is really never. It's really just for the 2-piece, and you do that like 2-piece speed, 2-piece healing. That's kind of its only value. Flip side, we got Musketeers. This is also just not really used at all anymore. So overall, I wouldn't really recommend farming this either. If you need 2-piece Passerby, I just recommend using relic remains. Next up is the Guard set and also the Genius set. The Guard set also really not used that much anymore. And then again, for sustains, it would just be the 2-piece actually. Quantum set, on the other hand, still a very good set overall. Of course, for quantum characters, besides a select few like Jade, Castris, Trivi, so on, this set does go very well with, providing you up to 20% defense ignore and then the 2-piece increase in quantum damage. And then a lot of characters who can also just use it without the actual effect of the 2-piece, such as Anaxa. Of course, I recommend just using relic remains on this if you really need Genius set. It's overall not really worth the farm, it's not efficient. Next up is the Knight set and also the Band set. I don't recommend this because this set is relatively obsolete now thanks to the new shield set that came out. For all shield characters, this set is not better. Flip side, we have the Band set. This is also not best in slot for anyone anymore. Jangwon has had the follow-up set for ages. Kafka is not even a DPS anymore, so that's kind of off the table there. So that's why overall, don't farm this at all. Next up is the Firesmith set and then the Wastelander set. Firesmith set, 4-piece, always has been horrible. Wastelander set still can be good on imaginary DPS such as like Weld or IO Danheng. It's not really worth going out your way to farm anymore though, since those characters also just have sets that are just as good if not better in situations nowadays. And regardless, it's paired with Firesmith set, which you're never going to use on anyone really. So I would not recommend farming this cavern either. Then we get to the Longevious set and also the Messenger set or Hackerspace. Nowadays, there's not many people that use Longevious. The only one who really has it as a best in slot still is just Blade. So it's very niche in that sense. The 2-piece can still be used on someone like Fushwan or any of the max HP scalers, but of course in this game you really just want to have 4-piece sets. And then flip side, Hackerspace can also be very valuable. The 6% speed and 12% speed for your entire team when using ultimate on an ally. Very valuable set still depending on what you are running. So if you need Hackerspace and you have Blade, then I can recommend doing this. If you're missing one or the other, like maybe you don't really need Hackerspace sets, which really a lot of times you will be just because the 2-piece is speed increase and there's a lot of 2-piece speed setups in this game. So usually always this will be valuable. On the flip side, Longevious, if you don't have Blade, it's not really valuable. So if you're missing one or the other, relic remains. Now we got the Ash Blazing Grand Duke set and also the Prisoner set. So this slot is one of the best in slots for Topaz. She has two that are like relatively interchangeable. Also best in slot for Jing1. You can use it on like a hybrid Himiko. You can use it on a mini Herda. Jade can also use it. Really niche depending on your account. Those characters aren't really many used to this day. On the Prisoner set side though, this is best in slot for any of the dock characters that are doing damage. So really anyone on the team that's a dock character besides Kafka, because Kafka just runs Eagle. So for your Hycelines, Black Swan, so on, if you have those characters, this set will automatically be valuable to you. So if you have follow-up characters that can benefit from this, again, mainly Topaz and Jing1, and you also have dock characters, in that case you can do this, but for most people I'm just going to assume you're going to need the Prisoner set, not really this set. In that case, just go ahead, use Relic Remains. Then we got Pioneer and also Watchmaker. Watchmaker is great to have one set on, of course, on someone on your team just to give 30% break effect to your team, so your main break DPS especially. Usually you throw this on someone like Ruan Mei or just anyone who can really use it, but the problem with that nowadays is that team is kind of rough to actually have this on someone, just because no one besides Ruan Mei and then Harmony Trailblazer use their ultimate on someone, and they're really the only two characters that can hold this. And depending on your team, they might not even be on there anymore. If you're running a sustain, your team is mainly going to be filled up with Fugue and also Ruan Mei, and then the sustain and then the DPS. So if you have Ruan Mei or Harmony Trailblazer on the team, you can run this still. Flip side, Pioneer, any debuff DPS is going to have this on a best in slot, so Akron, Welt, Cypher, Dr. Ratio. You can even throw this on a DPS that just inflicts one debuff and just put them on a team that has a form of debuffs, of course, if they are crit based, and it will be valuable because that set is actually still really good. So if you have a case like Ruan Mei or again Harmony Trailblazer who can use Watchmaker, and really any account probably can use some form of Pioneer, this actual cavern can be valuable, but if you're missing one or the other, you guessed it, Relic Remains. Next up, we got Iron Calvary and the Wind-Soaring Valorous. Iron Calvary, best in slot for any break character really nowadays, except like E2 Fugue. And then the supports. 4-piece is really going to be the best for any of their damage, and usually if you're able to hit the stats required on the supports on a 4-piece, that is the best case scenario. Again, the real only case nowadays where that isn't true is E2 Fugue, or instead you're better off running something like the Eagle set as well. But for Buto, Rappa, Firefly, so on, this is their best in slot always. For the Dahlia, you want this 4-piece. Even on someone like Linksha nowadays, you want the 4-piece. Himiko Break committed, that as well. Fugue pre-E2, that as well. So it's just valuable for anyone that is a break player. And then the Wind-Soaring set, a little more on the niche side nowadays. The two that have it in their best in slot mainly that are still notable is Fei Xiao and Yunli, which not many people use nowadays. You can also use it on Yanqing, I guess, but yeah, so if you still use Yunli and Fei Xiao and you have a form of break on your account, of course, this is going to be valuable. If not, you already guessed it, Relic Remains. Now we have probably the most valuable one in this entire game almost, Relieved Ordeal and Scholar. These two sets are insane, practically have value on any single account for any action advanced support such as Bronya, Sparkle, or Sunday. This 4-piece is best in slot, gives you a bunch of crit damage to the person you're buffing, plus gives speed to the wearer so you can help hit breakpoints. Allows you to build less crit damage on them and focus more on speed or even survivability. Flip side, Scholar, anyone that uses skill or ultimate damage mainly, or primarily skill, but even ultimate damage can use this really well because it's just a 20% free, but mainly skill because the ultimate after would give you 25% increase damage to skill as well, so giving you up to a 45% increase to skill instead for that instance. Top of that, 2-piece gives 8% crit rate, very valuable for your ratio, and I don't mean doctor ratio, I mean your crit ratio. So many characters can use this. The Herda, Anoxa, Maide, Jinglu, Finon can even use this if you don't have Wavestrider. Saber can use this as well. Archer can use this as well. There's just so many characters that can use this. I really doubt there is an account that can't benefit from Scholar unless it's brand new and you're focusing on a certain meta before anything else. Any mid to higher played account is going to be benefiting from this, and same thing with the Relieved Ordeal set. It is just very valuable. This is probably one of, if not the best ones you can farm. Next up is the Hero set and the Poet set. The Hero set, you only really use the 4-piece on Aglia or RMC, but RMC can also just use the Relieved Ordeal set as well, but you'd use this if you're committing to a DPS RMC. Those are the two only characters that really use this set. On the flip side, Poet set, best in slot for Castress and Tribi, and also Jade. Massive crit rate increase, decreases the wearer speed, so you'd always build it to people that don't want speed. Quantum damage, so if they're quantum, they get a benefit from the 2-piece, but characters can also benefit from this even though they're not quantum. There's builds with Clara that use this, there's builds with the Herda that don't activate speed traces that use this. It helps you just allocate a bunch of stats into your attack percent and crit damage, so if you're able to get a bunch of that while still maintaining 100% crit rate usually, or at least 95, this set can also be valuable on those characters. And majority of accounts probably have Castress or Tribi or both, so the set would automatically have value to those as well. So if if you are in a case where you have value to both, like let's say you have Aglia and then you have the characters that I was mentioning for Poet, you would have value out of farming this cavern. Otherwise, you would just pick one or the other and use Relic Remains and farm something else. Then we have Warrior Goddess and also Wavestrider. Warrior Goddess is best in slot really for any healer on a team where the crit damage is helpful. It gives you the equivalent of running 2-piece speed and 2-piece speed, as it also provides the wearer an additional 6% speed when having Gentle Rain, but the additional effect is it gives everyone 15% crit damage. Best in slot for Hyacinth, which is probably the most commonly used healer right now, but you can very much use this on Luotra, Gallagher, Lingshaw, and non-break teams. Really, any healer can use this, so this set is very valuable. Plus, it also has the 2-piece speed increase, so more valuable there. Flip side, Wavestrider, this set is only really used on Phynon. You can also use it on Saber. It's a little bit better than Scalder. In very specific cases, you can use it on someone like Anaxa as well. Really, anyone where it is a prime hypercarry character that scales off attack and is constantly being focused on ally abilities to get the 48% attack increase, or I mean get the stacks so they can consume it to get the 48% attack increase, and you have to constantly be able to target them so you can constantly have enough help stacks to keep up the buff uptime. Because if you don't, then you'll be missing on 48% attack, and then the 4-piece is just not there. And then 2-piece is nice, it does provide 16% crit damage, so this set is on, again, a very commonly owned DPS being Phynon, but you can use it on multiple other characters as I mentioned, just depending on your scenario of teams and usability. And then Warrior Goddess, any healer really gets value out of this, so this is also a relatively valuable cavern to farm. But if you don't have a need for Wavestrider, which would be the main one that people won't really want, and you'd mainly be looking at Warrior Goddess, that would be Relic Remains. And then finally, we have the World-Remaking Deliverer and also Self-Enshrouded Recluse. This is the best in slot set for Cyrene and Evernight. Crit rate's great for helping them be built with a better ratio. On top of that, it provides them more max HP, so that's going to be good for their damage, while also supporting the team. Very similar to their actual core roles, where they are a DPS that also supports the team at the same time. More so Evernight, but Cyrene also can add up to good damage. So them getting damage for themselves with a max HP increase and also a damage dealt increase for the team is very complementary to their playstyle. Flip side, we got Self-Enshrouded Recluse. This is the best in slot for every single shield character. Provides you up to a 22% increase to the shield effect, which is going to be very, very, very good for the shield potential. For Mantitere, best in slot for Wind-Soaring when going pure sustain. Best in slot for Japard if you're using him as well. Best in slot for even like March 7th if you're still using her. Anyone that has a shield, this is going to be the best, mainly for the big shield increase. And on top of that, it provides you a 15% increase to crit damage. So any team that crits, which any team you're running a shielder on probably will get a benefit from the crit, is going to like the set on them. And Downing is free, so this set will always have value for you. It mainly becomes a fact of if you have actually summoned for Evernight / Cyrene. If you do, then obviously this is going to be probably one of the more valuable places to farm, since Dawning will get an upgrade from this, and or if you also use Wind-Soaring, this set will always have value. And then for your Evernight and Cyrene, of course, this is going to be valuable as well. However, if you're missing Cyrene and Evernight, you don't really have a use for this set, of course, use Relic Remains and farm something else for Self-Enshrouded Recluse specifically. That brings this video to a close. It really just is picking a actual cavern that has double the value for you, because let's face it, these 2x drop rate events are complete garbage. You very rarely will ever get anything good out of it. Frankly, it's really just good for extra Relic Remains and XP, but the best way to mitigate your chances is to pick a place that has double the value for you to get something good. Because let's say you pick something that has only one side value for you, like let's say you're gonna pick the Eagle set because the Eagle set's so valuable, but you have no use for the Hunter set, which really would be for most accounts nowadays. You don't get anything for Eagle, but you get a 4 roller with attack percent, crit rate, crit damage, and speed. And then you decide to roll it and boom, it rolls well. Congrats, you have a really broken relic on a set that really no one is going to use. So it's best to take those chances on a actual cavern that has double the value for you. So for an example, I'm going to use myself here. I am going to dump this all on the hero set and poet set because I would love to upgrade my Aglia as much as possible. And then for poet set, I have pieces that really want to be replaced for both Jade and Tribby, so this set is also very valuable. As much as I would love to just dump all this into Eagle set, I would really rage if I get a good Hunter set and get 0 good Eagle sets, so I'm just going to take my better odds and farm this instead. But yep, that is how you want to go about it. I do hope you found this video helpful. If you did, dropping a like would be greatly appreciated. If you're new to the channel or haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell for future videos like this along with all other types of Star Wars content. Check the description to join the Discord, and I'll see you later. Peace out.